name is Danny. I'm the technical director of Nanopark Studios.
And I'm Brandon. I'm the creative director and artist at Nanopark Studios.
So what are you guys showing here? You're guys showing Petal Runner. What is this game all about?
It's a slice of life RPG where you play as a motorcycle courier who's delivering digital pet products.
Yeah. Where did the idea for this game come from?
We would just sort of chat through like different aesthetics that we both had a mutual love of. And so that started from the idea of the motorcycles. I always like putting cute pets into my artwork and stuff. So it's like, what if you're riding around on a motorcycle, somehow delivering pets to people's homes and like, you know, sharing that joy with them. And
funny that actually is a service. If like you buy pets through a breeder, they will deliver your pet to your house. So I don't know if you guys knew that, if that was based on it.
Yeah, we'll have to like link up with them and somehow do a collaboration. Yeah.
So talk about the visual aesthetic. Obviously, pixel art screams Pokemon. Where did the idea for the art style come from?
Yeah, I've been a fan of that sort of Game Boy form factor, you know, the Pokemon, Legend of Zelda on the Game Boy, and just the abstraction of that. So when we went to make this game, it was like, let's do that low res, low color palette, but then have some modern touches like the widescreen. We have kind of cool things like quest trackers and maps, so it like has the conveniences of a modern touch, but you're in still that nostalgia vibe of it too.
How long has the game been in development for?
We started in 2021, so somewhere around 4 years, over 4 years.
Is this full time for you guys, or is it still a passion project?
Full time, although it is a passion as well,
Yeah,
obviously. Yeah, it's all we do.
How did the passion project become a full-time job?
It was very serendipitous because we started, initially this was a really small project. We met on Instagram actually. And we were thinking of like doing a Kickstarter and stuff, but then we got into contact with AM PDT for merch, and they wanted to publish us. They offered us the opportunity. So it just felt very serendipitous.
Yeah, it's amazing because like we got to keep the project a secret for a long time because we were able to partner with AM PDT. So they said like, you know, let's work on it for a couple of years, get it into a really nice polished state. And then we finally revealed it last year, and it was really like just nice to share this like vision after it had time to cook, right?
So essentially, how did you get the attention of the publisher? Like, did they just reach out to you through Instagram? Did you reach out to them? Did they find you?
We wanted some merch for our Kickstarter.
Oh, that's right, you said that.
Yeah. So we just reached out to them and asked if they could make merch.
Yeah,
and they hit us back with the.
It was just like, yeah, you're just like, hey, would you like to join us for a Kickstarter? And then you hear back from them like, how would you guys actually like if we just published you and like skip all of that? Yeah, so just like been tremendous to work with them and have their support.
That's funny. Usually you don't start with merch. Usually you start with game and then merch follows. But you guys kind of did it in a weird way because you've got to encourage someone to give the money, right? Get hats, T-shirts, pins, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
We also just love like little tangible things like that. So.
How does it feel that you don't have to rely on crowdfunding to make your game a reality?
I mean, just such a relief, like, and it's encouraging. I think it's nice for the audience as well that we could have time to kind of go away and really hone the game, and now just share this final vision of it. So,
yeah, same. Same.
Now, you guys coders by trade, game design. Did you go to school for game dev, or this is something that you do as a hobby?
So I'm the programmer. I do all the programming. He does all the art. And I went to school for computer stuff, like computer science. But game programming has always been a passion of mine, and I did some small projects before this, but this is the biggest thing I've ever done.
Yeah, and I've been making pixel art for 10 years now. I just celebrated that last month.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah, thank you. And so I have a YouTube channel where I post videos of making pixel art. I post on social media, and then eventually that rolled into creating a large project like this. So it feels like a great culmination of what I've been working up to as an artist.
There are a lot of tools for coders and artists out there that make games a lot easier to make. When you're doing a pixel art game, do those tools make it harder? Because I know 3D is also an option that Unreal can just drop things in, but with pixel art, you have to do things by hand. And if something doesn't work, it's erase, start over.
Yeah, so I really enjoy the process of making pixel art by hand, and so like I'm just loving the craft of making it, so it doesn't occur to me that like, oh, if it were to be a faster way, because I like being in there with the pixels. That being said, we do have certain tools where like I've been experimenting with 3D modeling and low poly modeling, and there's a couple structures that sort of use that as a basis that you can hand pixel on. I've shared videos for this on YouTube, and it's just kind of cool to mix all of those styles and all the things that I've been working on together to create this vision.
What's a big misconception for someone who doesn't know anything about game development as a coder?
People think that like 2D games are easier to make than 3D games, which I guess like you're not dealing with quaternions or rotations and stuff, but it's still a big game that you have to put a lot into, creatively and also like theory-wise. So I think that's another misconception.
What's been the biggest hurdle from a coding perspective or a mechanic perspective for you personally on this project?
Maybe scalability, as a single coder, doing like the whole game. So I'm always trying to find efficiencies. We have a lot of external tools and stuff that we made in-house that make things a lot easier for us to take the workload off of like just sitting there manually doing data entry all day, for example.
Big misconception of being an artist on an indie project.
It's interesting because I came into this from doing it from an art side. So like for me, I perhaps had my own misconceptions of maybe what it took to take artwork from just the artistic phase into the actual gameplay element. You have to consider where the player's going to be colliding against the walls, how the assets are exported. So like that was my learning curve of that. And it's a whole other thing where I've been able to have fun actually learning that and then like crafting that into the game experience.
You guys talked about scale and scope. Is it difficult from either one of your sides to be like, how many rocks can I make? I mean, I made too many. I didn't make enough, because you guys have to kind of check yourselves.
Yeah, that's a constant conversation that we just collaborate between us. But because we're a 2-person dev team, it's like super efficient just to have those conversations. And like I can think of something like, oh, it'd be cool if the mouths moved when we have the portraits on screen. And Danny's like, oh, I'm already thinking of a way to do that. And that gets into the game really fast and elevates what we're able to do with the artwork. And yeah.
I feel you guys can lean back in a digital chair and be like, hey, can we do this? And you guys are like, yes or nah.
Boss says yes. Yeah, that's us.
Is it hard balancing that trifecta of time, budget, and money now that you're on a publishing type of deadline?
Time is the only real consideration. We're just worried about getting everything that we want in the game. I would say, it's that thing of keeping us in check, scope creep and stuff, because we always want to add more cool things to the game, but the game does have to come out. But we've been pretty happy with everything that's in the game.
I was going to say, we're obviously always appreciative of the support that they bring. They have experience in that, so they can kind of keep us on those rails and the milestones and make sure we're hitting those goals. And so it's been a learning experience and also very supportive and encouraging.
I know you guys are in the middle of making a game and finishing it, but a lot of developers sometimes make their games a physical cartridge when they're based off the style. Would your game run on a Game Boy?
On a Game Boy, probably not, no.
How far do we have to go? Game Boy Advance?
I don't know if I have an answer to that. I would actually like to know myself.
That's old, yeah.
That'd be really cool, yeah. I mean, Game Boy Advance, I'd be happy with that.
Let's go down this rabbit hole, right? No, keep going far. No 3DS, no higher. Has to go PSP. Okay, PSP might be able to do it.
That's another thing. If I had the time, that's something I would explore. It's could this run on a Game Boy Advance, right? Even as a personal project, I just love tinkering around like that.
There are dozens of people who love the PSP, okay?
I had one. I had one back in the day, yeah.
So when does your game come out, and what platforms are you aiming for at launch?
So it comes out in 2026. We're sharing the PC, Steam. We have the Steam page up. Obviously, there's a very strong handheld inspiration behind it, so we're kind of exploring the options that could fulfill that vision of it as well, of course. So we'll stay tuned for more news on that front.
So that's on you. Any plans for Nintendo Switch 2?
Actually, I don't know who's on it. It's not on me.
It's not you. You're not porting. Thank God.
I would like to port. I would like to port. It is, yeah.
In the meantime, where can they go to find more information about your game? They can wish this on Steam. Do you guys have a Discord?
We are on Instagram and Twitter and all socials. And also iMaven channels would be really good for news.